I take sunshine in the morning, take a steam bath at night, put a hot pad on my left leg, a cold one on my right. I take trips to Arizona to stay out of the rain. What have I got? He's got pain.
Well, the nursing program is an attempt to educate nurses about growing older and older people. There have been so many newspaper articles about how the nursing profession, the doctors, are not aware of some of the problems that older people have. And I think this is an attempt to do that, but it's an attempt to do it with humor, using all our shows, for instance, our improv, storytelling, Never Too Late, our vaudeville show.
Never too late to fall in love.
It's interesting to see when students come into the room, they're not quite sure what to expect. Some of them have heard about it from former students. They're a little anxious. Some of them are focused on, I have a test on Friday, I have a paper due on Thursday, I could be spending my time in the library right now. And as their performance starts, I literally see a change in their body structure, their body language. They begin to move forward in their seats, they begin to move their heads about so they can see better, they shift, and I see a total engagement.
She thought it would be a good idea to work on my triceps. Well, I've got news for you, Tanya. I don't have triceps.
I really loved it. I thought it was really brilliant. It had a lot of humor, a lot of wit, but it hadn't kind of an underlying pathos because it highlights the issues that we as nursing students and also experienced nurses that are working today need to be more attuned to. It's kind of changed my perception.
Squeeze it, lift up, release. Push up, release. No, really squeeze it, Denise. Lift up, and balance.
I think it's important that we see people living their lives the way that's most fulfilling to them. I mean, when we only encounter people when they're ill, we're all at our worst when we're not feeling good. So being able to see people at their best in their element is inspiring, and it's what we're hoping for. We're hoping for healing. We're hoping for people to get back to their life. So to be able to see what that life is for these particular people is great. That's the goal.
And then this young doctor came in. Nice resident. Maybe she'd been on all night. Looked a bit gloomy. She said, well, it's, there's a big mass on your ovary, and we're pretty sure it's cancer. We'll have to do surgery, so we'll schedule you, and we'll find a bed. And she left. Luckily, the nurse came in shortly afterwards, and I was there thinking, oh my, is this it?
I think what this performance adds is the art of nursing, that they begin to see that it's not just sticking an IV in correctly, that it really is working with people on a whole emotional and human level.
You're going to be manipulative. You can sit down. You're the patient. We would like one of you to deal with this.
Manipulative?
Yes.
But I never get what I want to eat, and I wondered if I could bring it.
Well, you could have someone bring it to you. What do you like to eat?
The only thing I want is smoked eels.
Smoked eels. I don't think...
They never get them here.
I've had students 2 years after the fact that I've run into or they've emailed me and said something such as, oh, I thought about Stagebridge today and I remember what Joanne said in her story. They don't forget it. They remember it. It makes an impression, and it makes a positive impression on them.
So we have the new Meta I Don't Care About You Act, where every month I get this little notice that says I am $2 million away from my catastrophic coverage. And as far as I'm concerned, unless the government includes in coverage Vicks Vapor Rub, C's chocolate, and Gordon's gin, it's an absolute waste of time.
You know, I think seeing them in their everyday life, you're going to not prejudge someone when you go into the patient's room. You're going to say, well, okay, just because this patient is sick, I don't need to say they can't do anything. They're fully capable of doing everything I can do, pretty much.
This is a population that will be taken care of more and more in our nursing practice, future nursing practice. And it's a population that we can't ignore anymore. And there's not a whole lot of information about how to take care of an aging population. They've had medical problems, but they're overcome them. And it's possible to have a full, healthy life, and even in advancing years.
And it would be like to be responsible for the care of a really old person or a not so old person who is ill, confused.
Small groups talking really 5 to 1 with an older person of Stagebridge, I think opens their eyes to a lot of things in terms of this person is normal. They may be chronologically old, but not necessarily otherwise old. What the Stagebridge program is that it brings aging to life. That it's not just the printed page, but they can see what is in a textbook basically is true.
What this performance allows is it allows them to see normal aging and healthy aging, and people who come in who have had medical histories and have overcome or adapted and continue to engage very positively in life.
You can open any door. There's nothing to it but to do it. You gotta have heart.
I think as a nurse it will change how I deal with them, in that hopefully I will be able to remember that they're people as well and not just Mr. Smith in bed 101 or, you know, Mrs. Jones in 103, and they're just being difficult, that these are people with valuable things to say and they're valuable people.
I think the ideal nurse for me would be someone who has a passion for his or her work, who really, really, really wants to be a nurse. And if I'm sad or depressed, just take my hand and let me know that there's somebody human who wants to have contact with me, no matter how old I get.
I also appreciate very much a sense of humor and a caring nurse.
I think I like male nurses.
There's an old saying that says that when you've stopped feeling, that's the moment that you know that you have become old. And our hope for you is that you will never stop feeling, and then you're never, never going to be old.
I'm not really ready to go. Got